Hey everybody, welcome back to Off Script with Super E. I'm your host A Train, and the other dude on that screen, that's Super E.
What's up, everybody? We were talking about when I rode with cops, the TV show. That was about 2004. I think you have a photo of my time.
I do. I do. I have a prop for this episode. So,
Oh,
viewers,
wow.
I'm going to give you a little shot. I'm going to give you a little shot of what Super E looked like back circa 20. What was it? 04?
2004.
Look at him.
Oh, the Rob
And this is
Zombie.
a
Looking awesome.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is a little still shot from the Cops episode that
Yeah,
Super E starred in.
No Grecian Formula 44 needed.
Yeah, that's pre-gray. That's right. So Cops is in town. They're riding around with, how Cops does. So they decided what? They wanted to ride with some Vice Narcotics guys, I assume?
Yeah, they wanted to ride with some Vice Narcotics guys. So they're already riding around. I get there a little bit late because I had to do something. And somebody had the dumb idea of putting out some lieutenant that was big and heavy set and didn't look like he could get a date in a woman's prison with a handful of pardons. This one officer thought that this lieutenant would be able to get tons of prostitutes so we'd have something for cops to video. And it was a giant waste of time because the guy didn't know what he was doing. Nice guy, but he didn't know what he was doing. So he was driving by prostitutes. Right. They were waving him. And so I started going, what the hell's going on? I was telling this to another officer or detective. I didn't know he had the cops crew with him. And I was in a bad mood anyway. So I was kind of venting. This is stupid bullshit. What are we doing this? This is dumb. I was kind of being a baby. Anyway.
Okay.
All of a sudden I see a guy lean his head out and look at me and goes, hey, can we ride with you? I'm like, who are these guys? And the other detective goes, they're with cops. I go, really? And they go, we want to ride with him. And I thought, oh, if you act like a lunatic, they want to ride with you. So They jump in my car. I've got a guy sitting in the front seat with a video camera. And it's not like nowadays we use a phone. It was a great big piece of equipment about almost 4 feet wide or long that he's holding in his lap. I mean, it's humongous. And then I got a sound guy with me with that boom microphone that's got the big fuzzy covering on it that looked like,
right.
Phyllis Diller's wig was like hanging on in my face. And so we were riding around and we were acting like the backup. And so then we decided to put the unexperienced old guy on waivers because he wasn't doing anything. And we put in the star quarterback, Jeff Gooden, to pick up the girls. And, Jeff was good at it. Yes. Yeah. And so I'm eastbound on East Washington Street at the far end of the hot dog stand. And I'm driving with the cops guys. And they ask you all these questions. And you answer the questions, and then you're like, wait a minute, I've seen this show before. Are you going to ask me all these questions? And then you edit out you asking the questions, and it's just me prattling on about stuff, and I look like a loudmouth. Oh, no, we won't do that. I said, okay, thank you. And then I see this girl walking down the street westbound. And I said, hey, there's a girl we just got last night as a prostitute. She was about 50 yards to the east of us. So I pull over on the south side of the street, and we're facing eastbound. I get on the radio, and I tell Jeff, I go, hey, Jeff, there's a prostitute right over there. She's walking westbound. And Jeff drives by us in this little old pickup truck. And he goes, okay, once I get turned, I'll do a U-turn and come back. I'm like, okay. I said, man, Jeff's good at this. And I reassure the guys, the camera guy and the sound guy. I said, she'll be in his car in a second. So I don't, I'm waiting. The girl keeps walking closer and closer to us. And I'm like on the radio going, Jeff, hurry up and get around here. He goes, I don't think she's actually a prostitute. So I'm not, I said, she's a prostitute. My other partner just locked her up last night. She just got out of jail. So I'm 110% sure she's a prostitute. I said, turn around and come back and get her. He goes, okay. Still waiting. I don't know if he got caught in traffic. I go, where are you at? He goes, I'm doing a U-turn. I go, what, Cincinnati? Because the girl was walking, now she's walking right up on us. And I said, hey, she's walking. And I had to ditch my little handheld radio. And this prostitute walks up to the car. She doesn't recognize me because she didn't see me when she got locked up the night before. And she walks up, she looks in, and she could see the guy with the camera, the 4-foot camera on his lap. She could see the guy sitting in the back seat all hunched over with the big microphone with the Phyllis Diller wig covering hanging in my face. She goes, what are you guys doing? And she's looking around. What is going on in here? I had to think quick. I said, hey, you ever seen that show called Girls Gone Wild? She goes, yeah. Why? I go, that's what we're doing. She goes, Girls Gone Wild? I go, no, ours is a new spin on it. We're doing Girls Gone Wild. She goes, really? I go, yeah. I said, would you like to be a part of it? I sure would. I said, she goes, what do I got to do? I said, here's what you got to do. You just get in a car, give me head, and let this guy film it and this guy get the sound as you're giving me head. I can do that. And then she goes, how much are you going to pay me? I said, well, you'll get paid like, I don't know, $500. And she goes, sounds great. She goes, oh man, this is great. I can't wait. Hooker's Gone Wild. And I said, and what, I'm like, what do you say? Hooker's Gone Wild. Yeah. And, she was giving me the fist pump. And she's fist pumping. And then right then, now Jeff finally comes rolling up. She sees Jeff. She goes, can you hold on a second? There's a guy in this old truck here. Took him forever to get back, but I think I can make some quick money off him, and then I'll be right back to do the Hooker's Gone Wild. And I said, no problem. Get in his car, give him some head, make some money, then come on back. She goes, I'm going to do it. Thanks again, guys. You guys are the best. She jumps in the car with Jeff. And then I look over at the guy with the video camera. I said, please tell me you had that on record. And he goes, oh, bomb. I don't have it on record. I go, son of a bitch. And he looks at me and goes, can you make her come back and do it again? I go, no. That's not going to, she's a, professional actress. Let's do take 2 on that. I didn't think you felt it. Yeah. No. So anyways, I said, we got to follow Jeff because he's got the hooker in his car. So, we turn around on busy ass Washington Street. Jeff drives along and he pulls south and we're following behind him. He pulls into an empty parking lot, graveled. And so he had already given me his secret signal. And I knew he had an arrest. And I tell these guys, well, Jeff's got an arrest. So make sure the camera's on. They go, okay.
Turn the camera on.
Turn it on, C3E. We'll have it on, C3E. So as we're pulling into the parking lot, Jeff in character as a guy who doesn't know what's going on, he goes, who are these guys in this car? Are they cops? She goes, no, they're not cops. Those are the guys from Hooker's Gone Wild. We're going to make a porno together. I'm going to suck the driver's dick for $500. And they're going to videotape it. I know Jeff was thinking, where does this son of a bitch come up with this stuff? So I get out and she goes, hey guys, just hold on. I'm just going to suck his dick. He's going to give me $30 and I'll be able to make that porno movie with you. Hooker's Gone Wild. I said, well, can I show you something real quick? She goes, sure. And I showed her my badge. She's like, oh, and she wasn't so enthusiastic about doing Hooker's Gone Wild. She was like, going to fucking jail. Damn. So that was my cop story.
Okay. I mean, that's absolutely unbelievable. You were able to just thinking on your feet. The hooker comes up, sees a camera crew in your car, right? And you're able to get a prostitution arrest out of that. That's genius. You're the best of all time, Super E.
Well, you and my mom both say the same thing, but I will just say we had so much practice. We had so much practice of having to think on your feet. Because like I said, if I'm in the house buying cocaine, they'd ask you all kinds of questions, and you just got to think on your feet, so you get used to it.
In that cameraman, I think he was fired from cops because he didn't have his camera turned on. But tell the viewers, okay, so while they're riding, obviously you're in an undercover capacity. You ask them, hey, if this airs, you're going to blur my face out, right? Or, what'd they tell you?
Yes, they said it's not going to be on for a year and a half, so don't worry about that. We'll make sure that's blurred out. And I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
And then
what happened?
2 weeks later, I'm driving around minding my own business. I get a call from Dee, my Fountain Square Demi Moore. And, she had a real gravelly voice. She goes, Super E. What, Dee? You're on Cops. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. You're riding around with the guy. And of course, she knew who all the guys were because she'd been arrested. And Jeff picked up some girl. I said, that's impossible, Dee. You must be smoking crack. I thought you stopped doing that. They said that wouldn't be out for a year and a half. She's like, I'm telling you, it's on right now. Because, of course, all the criminals loved Cops. They loved watching it. There was like, there's Trevor. He's going to jail. That bastard. So anyway, I thought, Diane, Dee must be losing her shit. Then, bring, bring, I get a call. It's my mom. Son, I'm watching you on TV. You're on Cops. Are you careful? Are you taking care of yourself? You look like you've lost weight. And I go, Mom, that's impossible. They said it wasn't going to be on for a year and a half. No, it's on. You're on right now. And then all of a sudden, my phone, somebody's calling in. It's my aunt. You're on Cops. They didn't even wait 2 weeks. And then faces been edited.
Yeah. So, okay, they tell you, listen, we're going to blur your face out, and this isn't going to air for a year and a half. Next thing you know, 2 weeks later, you're on Cops. Your face is all over the TV. So, what did, how did you feel about doing undercovers then for a while after that?
I was like, oh, shit. I'm fucked. Because, people watch that show all the time. I'm going to walk in and they're going to be watching TV and they go, hey, douchebag, there you are. You are the police. And all of a sudden, sounds of gunfire happening. But it never happened. Yeah. Nobody ever. God. 16, I went, what was it? 14 years. Oh, 12 years. I can't do my math. I did undercover every day for 12 more years. Now they did find an escort that somebody else had locked up, and I was helping him, and she had her phone sitting there, and on her phone was a picture of me. She had videotaped this episode of Cops with her phone, and it was like on the Spike Channel. And so she would look at that to make sure whoever came through the hotel door wasn't me.
Well, I'm really glad we revisited that because it is one of my favorites. I think we titled it Hookers Gone Haywire. I think that's the title of one. Yes. Genius. Absolute genius, Super.